Let's talk Coachella Valley. Conrad Negron, your host, today at the Marion Davies estate with Chris Clemens. Chris Clemens, PR, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh my gosh, this place is so unbelievable.
Isn't it amazing? 14,000 square feet. Did you enjoy the tour?
Well, you know, I got lost.
You have to have GPS.
You have to have GPS. I asked the question, if you're a construction worker and you're working today, what am I doing? Am I tearing the tile out or putting it in? I don't know.
Where am I going to be in the house, right?
So what's going on here? There looks like they're renovating, obviously.
Yes, renovating and bringing in a new design to restore the golden era. This is going to be open for the first time to the public as an event venue, so it's very exciting. And we're doing a preview tour, so a little sneak peek into what's happening. The project should complete the end of December, and we'll have you back to see the final furnishings.
Well, they're doing a lot of painting. They're doing redoing bedrooms. Clark Gable suite, the Marion Davies suite, the Elizabeth Taylor.
Yes.
I kind of feel all those movie stars are here like you.
Like me. You're so sweet.
Chris Clemens PR. She put the whole thing on. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Conrad.
All right.
All right, well, I want to thank everybody for coming today for our preview tour of the Marion Davies estate. It's very exciting, and we're so glad you could come and kind of see the before of the estate. I'm Chris Clemens, for those of you who don't know me, and getting the word out there, working with Fatima Nordquist. She's the property manager, and Carlos King is the designer.
If I'm correct, by adding the original square footage, the home was about 5,000 square feet. You get a glimpse of them. We're going with a very French deco aesthetic with a mix of Hollywood glam. The chairs that are behind you actually are 1930s French Art Deco, and they came off the Queen Mary, and they are Brazilian rosewood. I brought in a lot of Michael Hoffman sofas.
Hi, everybody. We're with Carlos King here at the Marion Davies estate. Carlos, what an amazing job you're doing. It's a lot of work.
A lot of work. Thank you very much. 14,000 square feet and 3 acres is not a day project.
How many times have you been lost here?
It took me about a week to get my bearings of the home between the secret corridors and all of the bedrooms. Stones that cost a fortune. So, welcome.
I was asking a question earlier. The construction guys, when they come, are they confused as to where they're working? Are they taking tile out or putting it in?
They're putting it in, however, they're confused because they started working on the wrong part of the house, so I had to send them to the correct part of the house.
Carlos, how long have you been working on the project, and you've lived in Palm Springs your whole life?
Yes, I'm a Palm Springs native. I ended up going to Cal Poly Pomona for architecture, and I never thought I would end up back here. So I came back to the desert, and I've been here ever since. But the project will be completed, the interior, by January 10th. We're going into kitchen 2, which is the big kitchen. And when Mrs. Holland owned the home, it was the big kosher kitchen. It had all orange cabinetry, and it has been completely redone. So follow me.
A lot of work. It's interesting, the eras, the 80s, the billionaire 80s, and then the 50s.
Absolutely. So it's very important for the owner and for Fatima for me to keep the sensibility of the 50s and the 80s. So we're blending everything in to make one cohesive space.
Well, there's so much history here, the sconces, the chairs from the Titanic. Is that true?
From the Queen Mary.
The Queen Mary.
1930s Art Deco French.
It is so gorgeous. What do you like most about the place?
Believe it or not, my most favorite feature is our pet mascot, Willie the Peacock, that anchors the fireplace.
He's very big. I got some footage of him. What's next? What do you got to do that's most important here to get people to know that it's open to the public for events? It's not a hotel.
No, it's not a hotel. So the next thing, it's just keep working with Chris Clemens, who's doing a wonderful job, and Fatima to really promote the house. The home was never open to the public, and it's just iconic history that Palm Springs needs to know, especially since Marion Davies was one of the pioneers of the desert.
I got a history lesson from my mom, so she took care of that for me.
Wonderful. That's great.
Carlos King, really appreciate your time. I know you're busy. Get back to what you're doing. We'll talk to you in the future.
Thank you very much. A pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
Oh, really? He was out taken to Chicago.
Outdoors.
I almost sure. And then I got
morning. Oh, what a pretty bird you
We're
are.
here with Fatima Norquid. Fatima, what a beautiful place this is.
Thank you. It's a labor of love. It's absolutely gorgeous. We're having a lot of fun updating it. So thank you for being here.
Well, it's so exciting, but I got lost walking around. I didn't know if I was going east or west.
I think the first 2 weeks I was here, I would get lost too. So we have named all the bedrooms after famous movie stars from the period. And we did that so that we could actually tell people where to meet you or when we were on our walkie-talkies, because bedroom 1, bedroom 2, it meant nothing. So no, they're all named after actresses and actors.
Well, it's really an interesting story here. How did you get involved and what's going on in the future as the new year comes?
I got involved because I represented the current buyer. He was looking for something special. We were looking all over the valley, and he kept throwing his nose up at it. And I thought, I think I know what you want. I think you need special. So I brought him here to see it, and that was it. He then decided that he would be doing opening the house up for events and venues, and he needed help, and I offered to stay on. So
It's a rough gig. It's really a rough gig.
oh, I know, it's so glamorous. So I can't
Do you
wait.
feel like all the movie stars are here, kind of like me? Do you, like I look like Clark Gable, or my mom says I look like Tyrone Power? So
Well, you know, it does. It feels like it has that character, and it's almost like there's ghosts in the air, but they're friendly ghosts.
the friendly ghost.
Yes.
Fatima, thanks for the invitation, and we'll see you next year in maybe a couple big events.
Sounds great. We'll be ready probably in January.
I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, this concludes another episode of Let's Talk Coachella Valley. I'm your host, Conrad Negron. Stay tuned for great stuff coming up this season.